Now, you know that I depend on your donations to my ministry because I'm here on a visa that doesn't allow me to work, either here locally or remotely. So I'm on a volunteer status here in Ukraine. So you can go to the links down in the description below and donate to my ministry. Just decide in your heart in advance what you're going to donate. Go down there, click on the link and donate, and forget about it, and praise God. Now on with the lesson. So today we're here in Malachi 1, verses 6 through 9 in the Septuagint. So you can follow along with me. If you don't have a copy of the Septuagint, go to the link in the descriptions that says Old Testament, and that'll take you to our website, to a special page about the Old Testament, telling why the Septuagint is important. You can download it there. It's a free copy, and you can read along with me. Malachi 1. It says, "A son honors his father, and a servant his master. If then I am a father, where is mine honor? And if I am a master, where is my fear? Saith the Lord Almighty. Yea, the priests are they that despise my name. Yet ye said, Wherein have we despised thy name?" Verse 7. "In that ye bring to mine altar polluted bread. And ye said, Wherein have we polluted it? In that ye say, The table of the Lord is polluted, and that which was set thereupon ye have despised." Verse 8. "For if ye bring a blind victim for sacrifices, is it not evil? And if ye bring the lame or the sick, is it not evil? Offer it now to thy ruler, and see if he will receive thee, if he will accept thy person, saith the Lord Almighty. And now entreat the face of your God, and make supplication to him. These things have been done by your hands. Shall I accept you? Saith the Lord Almighty." Now, it may seem a little bit foggy to you, but let me go ahead and just clarify what is going on, what's being said. This is God speaking, and he's especially addressing the priests, but anyone in general who is bringing sacrifices and offerings to him. And he says, a son honors his father and a servant his master. He says, so if I'm your father, where's my honor? And he says, if I am a master, where is the fear that is due me? Then he points his finger at the priests and says it's the priests especially who are despising the name of God. And then they argue with God. Wherein have we despised thy name? Then God calls them on the carpet for it. You've brought to my altar polluted bread. And then you argue with me, where have we polluted it? And then he says, because you say that the table of the Lord is polluted, and that which was set thereupon you've despised. You've treated the table of the Lord as if it's polluted. Now, I'm speaking to you Christians out there. All of you out there who are treating the table of the Lord as if it's polluted, and therefore anything that you bring to it is polluted. Anything that you yourself bring to it is polluted. And so when you complain about the churches, when you complain about the leaders and the pastors, and then you turn around and you try to bring something to the Lord, is it not polluted? By you. Because you have not gotten rid of the pollution. You carried it with you. Yes, we're speaking of the apostate churches, where you learned about the Bible. After you heard the gospel, then you learned about the Bible under those false teachers in those apostate churches and became polluted, just like them. And then you tried to separate yourself off from them and not cleanse your heart. And you haven't purged yourself of the yeast of the Pharisees, of the sins of those apostate teachers and churches. You haven't purged yourself of those, and yet you try to bring offerings to the Lord. They're despised by the Lord, for sure. Verse 8, "For if you bring a blind victim for sacrifices, is it not evil?" Now this is slightly different even. He's saying that if you bring like an animal who's supposed to be the sacrifice, but it's a blind animal, or it's a lame animal, like it can't walk or it can't fly, and you're going to offer it as a sacrifice, that's like taking what you wouldn't even use yourself and offering it to God. He says, offer it now to your ruler and see if he will receive you, and if he will accept you as a person, saith the Lord Almighty, all vigorous. He says, go ahead, take it to your king, take it to your governor, give it as an offering to him, and see if he will receive you. Guarantee that he will throw you out on your butt. That's what God's saying to you. Be careful what you're offering to God, and be careful about your heart, and purge yourself of those things of the apostate churches and the false teachers before you make your offerings, and make your offerings of the best, not the worst, not the things you're going to throw out already. Then he says in verse 9, and now entreat the face of your God and make supplication to him. These things have been done by your hands. He's mocking the person. He's saying, and now you dare to entreat the face of God? And you dare to make supplication to him, asking him to supply your needs? How dare you do that after doing this with your hands? These things have been done by your hands. Your hands are not clean. They're not. Shall I accept you? God says to you. Shall I accept you? Saith the all-vigorous God. Shall I accept you after that? Absolutely not. Make sure you get these things in order so that your prayers are heard, so that God supplies for you, so that God accepts you when you entreat him. May the Lord bless you as you seek him with all your heart.